PharmaPal.
You're listening to Bloomscast, the official podcast of Blooms.io, home of the bioactive library for mass spectrometry instant optimization. Let's dive into the latest in natural chemistry, bioactive discovery, and the future of lab innovation.
You know, when we reach for something like chamomile tea or maybe turmeric, it feels like we're connecting with something old, something natural.
Mm-hmm.
But have you ever stopped to think what's really going on there? Chemically, I mean. Inside the plant.
It's a whole hidden world.
It really is. Way more complex than just, good for you. Like, did you know that some chemicals plants use to maybe ward off insects? Those same chemicals might actually do interesting things in our bodies.
That's a perfect example. It's fascinating stuff.
Okay, so let's get into that complexity. This is the deep dive, and today we're really zooming in on phytochemistry, basically, the science of plant chemicals, especially looking at some common botanicals from our sources.
Exactly. Think of plants as these, incredible little chemical factories. They're constantly churning out all sorts of molecules just to survive, for defense, signaling, growing.
All that internal plant business.
Right. And it's those compounds, the phytochemicals, that interact with our own biology when we use the plants. So for this deep dive, we've got a list of products, their ingredients, and we're putting on our phytochemistry goggles.
Phytochemistry goggles, I like that.
Yeah, to look past the common names and see what's actually listed, chemically speaking.
So we're not just saying this plant helps with that. We're asking, okay, what specific chemicals are in here, and what do we actually know about them?
Precisely. And the variety is just, it's huge. Let's maybe start with yucca. Yucca shittajara root.
Okay, yeah.
From a phytochemistry angle, it's really known for its saponins. You might even notice a slightly soapy feel if you've handled it.
Ah, saponins. Soap. Okay.
Exactly. They're a type of glycoside. Think of it like a sugar bit attached to a non-sugar bit. In the plant, they can act as defense. But what's interesting for us is that these same saponins, they're being looked at for joint health, maybe digestion too.
Huh. So the plant's defense might interact with our systems.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it, how those mechanisms translate?
Saponins. Oh, okay. Got the soap connection. Now, we also see shatavari root mentioned a couple of times here.
Asparagus racemosus.
Right. And there's an extract with a high concentration of saponins, 25% total and 5% shatavarins specifically.
Right, that's right.
But then there's also a powder form listed with only 2% saponins. That's a massive difference.
It really is. And that difference really hammers home how the processing, the form we use, drastically changes the phytochemical profile we're actually getting.
So how it's made matters just as much as what plant it is.
Absolutely. It highlights a core thing in phytochemistry. The preparation is critical. When you see something like, say, ashwagandha extract standardized with phenolide glycosides.
Ah, that word standardized.
Right. That's a deliberate choice. It's trying to ensure there's a consistent level of those specific compounds. With phenolide glycosides are pretty unique to ashwagandha, and they're thought to be behind many of its effects.
So it's like saying, we check the important stuff, or what we think is the important stuff, is definitely in here at this level.
You got it. And similarly, you see organic chaste tree berry extract that lists agmuside, which is an iridoid glycoside, considered a key phytochemical in chaste tree, often studied for its potential effects on hormonal balance.
Okay, so different plants, different key chemical signatures. We've got saponins in yucca and shatavari, with analides in ashwagandha, agnoside in chaste tree. What about black cohosh? That's another one listed.
Actia racemosa root extract. Yeah, that one is known for its triterpene glycosides.
Triterpene glycosides. So another type of these sugar plus something molecules, but different again.
Exactly. Different structure, different class of glycosides. And in black cohosh, they're often the focus when people research its traditional uses, especially around women's health stuff.
Right. Okay, shifting gears a bit then. Green tea leaf extract. That's famous for EGCG, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Epigallocatechin gallate. Big name. EGCG for short.
And that's not a glycoside, is it?
Nope. Totally different chemical class. It's a polyphenol. Polyphenols are a huge group known often for antioxidant properties. From a chemistry view, EGCG's structure lets it interact with all sorts of molecules in our bodies. That's why it gets studied so much.
Right, EGCG, different class, different potential actions. Okay. And what about Pomanox? That's listed as an organic pomegranate fruit extract?
Pomegranate. Fruits often have a different chemical profile, again, compared to roots or leaves, right?
Makes sense.
Pomegranates are loaded with polyphenols, but a specific type called elagitannins are really prominent. Pomanox is basically a concentrate of those.
Elagitannins.
Yeah, different structure, again, from the glycosides, or even EGCG. They interact differently, often linked to that antioxidant activity again.
Okay.
Then there's purestrol from Puraria mirifica root extract tucked into a blend.
Purestrol. What's the chemistry there?
Well, Puraria mirifica is interesting chemically because it contains phytoestrogens.
Plant estrogens.
Kind of. They're plant compounds whose structure is just similar enough to our own estrogen that they can bind to estrogen receptors. So they might have estrogen-like effects, potentially.
Wow, that's quite a range. Saponins with analydes, various glycosides, polyphenols, phytoestrogens. It really shows how diverse these plant chemical arsenals are.
It really does. Different plant parts, different families, producing wildly different compounds.
And then we see chaparral mentioned, noted for being rich in NDGA.
Nordohydroguaretic acid.
Right. With claims about it being antiviral, antifungal, antioxidant. That feels like a direct link between a traditional use and trying to pin down a specific chemical.
It does. Chemically, NDGA is a type of phenolic compound. It has a unique structure, and yes, lab studies have shown those kinds of bioactivities, but, and this is crucial.
There's always a but in biology.
Well, yeah, just because something works in a test tube doesn't automatically mean it's safe or effective when a person takes it. There's a lot more to it.
Good point. Okay, so we've highlighted some specific star chemicals, but what about the bigger picture? We see loads of liquid extracts listed, Murapuama, Dongquai, Shatavari again.
Right.
These aren't just delivering one chemical, surely.
Oh, not at all. Not even close. Those liquid extracts, whether they use alcohol, water, glycerin, whatever the solvent is, they're pulling out a whole spectrum of chemicals from the plant.
Yeah.
Whatever dissolves in that particular solvent.
So it's like a soup of compounds.
A very complex soup. The extraction ratios, the herb to menstruum ratios they list, they give you a clue about the concentration.
Yeah.
But you're getting a mix, basically the chemical fingerprint of that plant part extracted that specific way.
And then you see things like proprietary extract blend or certified organic extract blend. Those must be even more complex.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Those are intentionally combining multiple plants. So you're layering those chemical fingerprints on top of each other. Think of the cramped TM blend or the one with chaste tree and black cohosh together. You're getting the phytochemicals from all the included plants.
And that leads into things like Dashamula, Tricatu, Trifala, these classic herbal blends. It's like combining the chemical power of several plants deliberately.
Precisely. Those traditional formulas often work on the idea of synergy.
Synergy. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Kind of, yeah. Or at least the idea is that the combined effect of all those different phytochemicals from multiple plants might be more balanced or maybe work better than just one plant alone. Each one brings its own set of molecules to the party.
Okay. Now, what about the other ingredients? We see things like vegetable glycerin, water, vegan capsules, sunflower lecithin, organic cane alcohol. Chemically speaking, what are they doing? Are they just fillers?
Not quite inert fillers, but their main job isn't usually providing those active phytochemicals we've been focusing on. They're functional.
Functional how?
Well, they act as solvents like the alcohol or glycerin to actually get the phytochemicals out of the plant material in the first place. Or they're carriers, helping to keep the extract stable or easy to use. Or they're literally the capsule material.
Okay, so the alcohol isn't just there for fun, it's actually doing the extracting sometimes.
Right. Organic cane alcohol is pretty common because it's good at dissolving a wide range of compounds, things that dissolve in water and things that dissolve in fats or oils. Glycerin and water are common too, pulling out slightly different profiles perhaps.
It's also striking how many different parts of the plants are used. We see roots, leaves, fruits, seeds, bark, even aerial parts. Does that matter much chemically? Which part you use?
Oh, absolutely. Massively.
Yeah.
Different parts of the plant make and store different chemicals and in different amounts.
Like departments in that chemical factory you mentioned.
Exactly. The root might be for storage, concentrating certain things. The leaves are busy with photosynthesis, making other stuff. We saw yucca root highlighted for saponins, green tea leaves for EGCG. That's not random.
And the preparation method too, like we saw with the shatavari liquid extract versus the powder.
Crucial. Different solvents, different extraction techniques. They'll preferentially pull out different sets of phytochemicals based on their chemistry, solubility size, things like that.
Okay, so this is a lot to take in. For someone listening, maybe just trying to understand their supplements or herbal teas better, what's the main takeaway from all this phytochemistry deep dive?
Well, I think the main thing is empowerment, really. Understanding these basic ideas lets you look beyond just the plant's name on the label.
See past the marketing, maybe.
Perhaps. Or at least understand it better. When you see standardized extract, you now know what that means. They've tried to measure and guarantee a level of certain specific chemicals.
Yeah.
But you also recognize that the whole plant, maybe in a powder or a simple tea, while maybe not precisely measured for one compound, it contains this huge orchestra of other chemicals.
Right, the broader spectrum.
Exactly. And those other compounds might be contributing to the effect in ways we don't even fully understand yet. It's complex. This dive is really about giving you, the listener, a more informed lens to view these products through.
So, the big message. Plants are chemically complex. Phytochemistry helps us start to unravel that complexity, going beyond just the traditional story.
That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And, understanding this naturally brings up more questions, doesn't it?
Like what?
Well, knowing these products have this incredibly diverse, sometimes uncharacterized mix of chemicals, what does that make you wonder about how they all interact inside your body? Could they work together? Could they potentially interfere with each other or with other things you take?
Yeah, good question.
And thinking about all those different extraction methods, the natural variability. What are the challenges scientifically in making sure these herbal products are consistent? How do you ensure quality when your starting material is, natural and variable?
Right. Lots to think about.
Exactly. Those are the kinds of questions that pop up when you start peering into that fascinating chemical world hidden inside everyday plants.
Thanks for tuning in to Bloom's Cast, brought to you by blooms.io. Stay curious, stay connected, and we'll see you next time on the frontier of natural product innovation.
PharmaPal.